Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, then welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. I'm just doing a pregnancy update this video. I'm gonna try not to make this too long because it can get lengthy and I'm gonna be doing a lot of talking, and I know y'all don't want to hear all that. So we're gonna get right into this video. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm waiting. Thanks for everyone's patience. This has been a long journey for me. Due to being high risk, having to have a surgery at 18 weeks pregnant, my Cerclage Surgery. If you haven't seen that, make sure you go check that out. I also had to have an emergency C-section. Currently, my baby is in the NICU, so I'm glad it's almost over. I can't even lie. I was categorized as high risk at 18 weeks. I ended up having to get surgery. From then, my pregnancy was being closely watched. Like, I had weekly doctor's appointments, weekly ultrasounds, and it actually went up to twice a week right before my water broke. Even with the weekly ultrasounds and the weekly appointments, my cervix was like constantly getting shorter. So that's why they actually took it up to 2 times a week that I went to go see them. And that only got to happen for like 2 weeks, and my water broke. I called an ambulance. They took me to the hospital. They took me to one hospital, but they didn't have a NICU, so they transferred me to another hospital that did have a NICU. So my water broke at 24 weeks. So the Cerclage actually did its job for about 6 weeks, and that was a good thing. So they were kind of prepared. They, like I said, they knew that I was going to have the baby early, but no one can tell me when, because it's kind of just like up in the air because everybody's body is different. Everybody's different. The hope for them was that I would stay pregnant until 34 weeks, and then they would go ahead and induce me to have the baby. So with my water breaking, the average woman, they said, goes about 10 days still staying pregnant, and I clearly passed that average, which was exciting, and it was a good thing because at 24 weeks the baby is very underdeveloped. So my baby's in the NICU now, and it's been about a month, and it would have been so much longer if I had to give birth at 24 weeks. She would have had so many more complications, so I'm glad I was able to go as long as I did. And since my water broke, they decided to give me steroid shots, which were to help with speeding up the development of the baby. She would be more prepared than if she didn't get them. The steroids specifically helped with like the lung development, so that was like the biggest thing for the doctors when they talked about like development, like her lungs not being developed, because the baby needed amniotic fluid to help develop the lungs, and I was constantly, while I was in the hospital, leaking amniotic fluid. It worked out because the steroid shots, like I said, speed up her development, so everything was okay, and I trusted the process. But also, since my amniotic sac ruptured, they were worried that infection could get up into the sac and potentially infect and make me and the baby really sick. They also made sure to monitor the baby's heart rate like 3 times a day. So they would do that in the morning, afternoon, and at night, and that was just to make sure that she wasn't stressed, that her heart rate was at normal, that she was moving okay. I also had to do like 3 ultrasounds a week in the hospital to make sure that she was moving okay, and she was kicking away. I'm telling you, she was unbothered by all of this going on. Like, it's me on the outside that had to deal with this. Like, she was perfectly fine. I said I was constantly leaking, and the discharge eventually started to change to a more yellow color, and that was a sign of infection. They told me like change in color, fever, or a smell, and it was starting to change color. So I was worried. Like, I kept telling the nurses like, okay, this is changing color. They would go get the doctors would look, they would be like, oh, it's okay, like, this is not too bad, so it's nothing to worry about, we're gonna keep an eye on it, blah blah blah. This started to happen around 27 weeks that I started to see a change in the discharge. So for about a week and a half, it was a little darker, but it wasn't like anything too crazy. They seen a small sign of infection. They thought that I could go into labor soon, so they actually gave me another round of steroid shots. They gave me the first round when I first got into the hospital, but I think they can only administer it twice. Like, I did a lot of research on the steroids, so they said that they can only administer it twice. So this was the second time, and they gave me the steroid shots to, like I said, speed up the baby's lung development. At 28 weeks and 5 days, like, I noticed that my baby was not moving as much as she normally did. Like, she was kicking me. Like, I could feel her moving all the time. Like, I wake up in the middle of the night and be like, girl, it's 3 a.m. Relax. And also, like, her heart rate was kind of high. So her heart rate stayed between 150 and 160. And around 28 weeks and 5 days, it started being like 170, 175. So I was nervous. I'm like, my baby is not moving like she normally do. And her heart rate is high. Like, how is that go together? So at 28 weeks and 6 days, this was still happening. So the doctors started getting concerned. Like I told them, I'm not even a doctor, and I knew. Like, I just knew. I was moved to labor and delivery and being monitored very closely, because I told them I wasn't allowed to eat or drink, and I was on the heart rate monitor for her constant. I was given an ultrasound, and in 20 minutes, they were like, we're about to do this C-section. They do like a little ultrasound test, and she has 30 minutes to pass it, and the 30 minutes, she barely passed. So they're like, we're gonna go ahead and do this C-section and get this baby out. And this was on December 12th. I was 28 weeks and 6 days. So I made it like 6 weeks in the hospital without actually going into labor and having the baby. So I actually did pretty good. But on December 12th at 6:12 p.m., Navy Rose was born. She was 2 pounds and 14 ounces, and she was so cute. I'm gonna show y'all some little clips. I'm gonna add some little clips in here so you guys can see how cute she was. She was cute. Okay, and she was screaming, and when she screamed and started crying, I started crying. I was salty about the C-section though, because I was definitely supposed to have a vaginal birth, and they ended up giving me a C-section, but it is what it is. My baby's healthy, I'm healthy. After that, she was immediately taken to the NICU for an assessment, see how she was doing. I was in recovery with her dad. I was just so anxious to see my baby, but they would not let me go for like, it was like 2 hours I had to stay in there before they let me see her, which was very irritating, because I did see her once, but like, it was like brief, and I was kind of out of it from the C-section, drugs, whatever they gave me. I wanted to see my baby. I was anxious to see her. And that was pretty much my birth story. Like, that's what I went through. I would say for about 3 months, it was a roller coaster for me of emotions. Like, I didn't know how things were gonna go. Like, everything was fine with me, and then all of a sudden I was categorized as high risk and I couldn't work, I couldn't do anything. So it was kind of like worrisome a little bit, but like, it got better and then it got worse when my water broke. But baby is healthy and she is good, and I'm healthy and I'm good, so we're good. So if you guys want to see Navy's journey in the NICU, I will be posting a video on that, and it's going really good. She's still in there, so like I said, I'm recording as we go, so I don't know how long she's going to be in there, so I can't tell you when it will be dropped. But once she comes out and comes home, like, I'm putting it together little by little, so it's gonna be together soon, and I think she should be home in about 2 weeks. So hopefully in about 2 weeks I could post her journey in the NICU. So guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Like I said, turn on your post notifications so you can know when I post. I also do, like, you know, little hair videos, so I don't have a video on these box braids specifically, but I do have box braid videos on my channel, so check those out if you like my hair. And see you guys next time.